How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massa Beer Reviews back with a little Hop Butcher up in this piece, son, in the form of their live from Chicago. This is a collaboration with Crushed by Giants Brewing Company. It is a Simcoe, Citra, Galaxy, and HBC692 hopped India Pale Ale, 6.75% alcohol by volume. And as far as tasting notes go on there, it is fresh fruit cocktail, pleasant pine, and sweet grapefruit. So yeah, 7 sucker. Never heard of those Crushed by Giants, but we'll see what's what. Ooh, would you look at that? That, my friends, is what we call clear beer. See, I'm going to tell you a little story if you want to kind of sit back and relax and kind of just buckle in and just wait for story time with Matt. And there was a time in a place, it's called 2008, when clear beer was clear beer. And that was pretty much how beer was meant to be made, more specifically in the hoppy realm. You know, there's always been turbid beers where you talk about kind of the OG hazy, which would be your kind of German Hefeweizen kind of beers. A lot of Belgians can be that way, quad, stuff like that. And there's definitely your unfiltered beers. But when you're talking about hops in a beer, that'd be what you were looking for in the past. So we're definitely on clear beer alert here, which is pretty fucking awesome. Label-wise, cool. Horns, whatever. I got it. Dan Jets is awesome. You've heard it ad nauseum. Yeah, soft. Ever so soft bit of haze to it. I mean, oddly enough, 20 years ago, this would be like, oh, that beer's kind of cloudy. You know what I mean? But definitely a clear beer. But today's standards, half a pinky finger. Pretty uniform, compact bubble head. Seeing a couple stragglers. Man, she looks kind of like an unfiltered kind of Pilsner to me more than anything else. That's what kind of jumps out at me. Looks chuggable. Looks drinkable. You gotta get a nose first, though. I mean, it is really grapefruit for me. It is a lot of, like, under-sweetened, but not overly pithy, not overly bittering kind of grapefruit. And a soft little rindiness, but nothing overly bittering. A nice kind of fresh grapefruit fruitiness. Yeah, I mean, that's a dominant thing there. I'm really not getting much else. Now, let's jump into their notes and say fresh fruit cocktail. That's kind of like, we're kind of hitting all the pegs when it comes to, your stone, tropical kind of citrus fruit, and I can kind of get that. Pleasant pine, not really getting any kind of pineness, at least in the nose. These are tasting notes, mind you. Sweet grapefruit. That's the dominant one for me. Let's dive in. Cheers. I get that pine portion of the show. It does show up the nice, non-overly aggressive, perfectly aggressive, let's put it that way, for its impact beer, kind of pineness in there. That grapefruit drives through from what you get to the nose and the taste. It's a little bit smaller, but it's not that far off. And that kind of, if you're going to kind of go by the tasting notes, that kind of cocktail thing, it kind of makes sense. So a lot of times I get kind of a wide gamut of fruit flavors and a lot of IPAs, and there's just dominant ones kind of you pick out here and there. It's kind of how most work for me. And it kind of makes sense here. It's super clean, super drinkable. I mean, it is very much an old school beer with a ton of new school sensibilities. I mean, it's crisp, it's clean, it's drinkable, it's chuggable, it's bittering, it lingers on the palate. Wants you to go back for more, which is always nice. There's a nice soft dryness to it too, which accentuates that bitterness. But yet, it's still aggressive enough to let you know you're drinking something of substance. It still drinks below its weight class, probably more in the mid-5s than anything else, but it's not that far off. It's just really tasty. Who would have thunk it? Really tasty, clear beer. Again, it's not like this beer has this, like, great, huge, kind of mysterious depth and complexity to it. There's a lot of levels of citrus fruit in there from that grapefruit and other things. There is that nice kind of piney component, and there's layers and all that stuff. But in the end, it's drinking beer. It's bittering, old school, clear drinking beer with a lot of new school hop sensibilities. And it's tasty AF. There you go. I don't know what else to tell you. Other than, is this one of the better clear hazies? I was going to go clear hazies. Clear new school beers that I've had as of late in the hop realm. Yeah, it's up there. I like it. I think it's chuggable, even though it does kind of hit a little bit below its weight class. It's kind of, oddly enough, if this ABV was lower, if you got this in at 5%, this would be the beer I'd want to chug at a concert. It's kind of like drinking beer. It's kind of like concert beer. It's tailgating beer. Those kind of things. Now, whether that was the goal for something like this, being that they're kind of doing a whole kind of metal kind of music theme, and there's, you see in the back there in the background, there's a bunch of people at like a show. I'm not sure what show it is, obviously, but yeah, I'm a fan. Value and availability. Hop Butcher stuff does get distroed. It's pretty much how they do everything. But you gotta go find it, because they kind of just drop it and it goes away. So leave that for what it's worth. Market value, typically on our price points, and leave you with, if you like what we like this beer. If you like old school beer, you like new school beer, and you like both at the same time, it's essentially what you're gonna get here. Because you're getting, like I said, a lot of that new school, Midwest, maybe East Coast sensibility when it comes to those old school IPAs, but it's definitely giving that new school hop treatment, and finishes clean, crisp, and refreshing. If you like to chug a beer at a concert, or if you like old school beer, like I said, new school beer, this is definitely going to do you all kinds of proper. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massive. You want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing, and burps. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little Hot Butcher. Or maybe a little bit of Crushed by Giants right now. Hopefully see you next time. Cheers.